Hey, so we are back for video number 4 now, and as I stated at the end of the last video, this one is a video about my best friend Megan, her top 10 favorites of the AMVs that I have made. And I will say some of them did surprise me that she gave, just because I didn't, I just didn't expect those ones. We have 1 out of our 10 in common, but there were some that made it onto her list that were like in my honorable mentions and vice versa. I don't have her honorable mentions. I just know that she mentioned that a couple of the ones on my list she almost put on but didn't. So yeah, again, I mentioned in the last video, if you guys want, you can comment below what videos or which ones are your favorite ones that I've made, and then I will put together a video of those and upload that at some point, probably closer towards the end of the month, just to give you guys all time to post all of your comments on which ones are your favorites. So without further ado, we are going to go into Megan's top 10 favorite AMVs that I have made. So starting at number 10, this was actually one of the ones that surprised me, is Life is Beautiful by 6 AM for John Egbert, which if you remember, that one actually showed up in my top 10 least popular, but this one is the remake, which was far more popular than that one. This one has 8 likes, and I uploaded it like tail end of last year, so it's a much more recent one. This is one of the ones that surprised me, mostly because I just didn't expect her to pick that one. No particular reason, but it just wasn't one of the ones that I figured she'd pick. But yeah, so that one is number 10. And I didn't realize when I made the last video, but the first one that I uploaded actually wasn't the full song. This one is much longer. I guess I just ran out of pictures on the other one because I was working on Movie Maker. But this one I made, it was like, no, I would have been in Kansas at that time. It was not long after I moved out here. I don't know why it took me so long to remake. But it did. I know it was one that was on my list to remake. I don't know why I never got around to it until then, but hey, I did. I remade it, and it made it into Megan's top 10 as number 10. So I'll let you guys watch that, and as every other video, there'll be a link in the comments below. Comments, I swear to God, I didn't do it at all last video. I was doing good, guys. In the description below, with a playlist, the link to the playlist of all of her videos. So you guys can check that out.
Tell the truth until you learn to lie. Can't breathe until you choke. You gotta laugh when you're the joke. There's nothing like a funeral to make you feel alive. Just open your eyes. Just open your eyes and see that life is beautiful. Will you swear on your life that no one will cry at my funeral?
guys, we are on to number 9. Now this is actually the one that we had in common. Hers ranked much higher than it did on mine, but I'm sorry I gotta hit you guys with this pain again, but her number 9 is Leaves from the Vine by, and I apologize for pronouncing your name wrong again, Adriana Figueroa. We're gonna go with that one this time. For Marco Bot. I apologize in advance for hitting you guys with the feels again. This was one, actually, I don't know. This was one I was like in the air about making when I first made it. Because it was kind of a toss up. I'm like, I want to do it, but I know it's gonna hurt a lot to make. And I'd gotten the idea from a picture I'd found off Pinterest with this song for Marco. And it was like Jean going home, or not going home, but going to Marco's mom, and it was sad, and I cried. So when I got the idea for this one, I saw that, or it had popped back up because I was going through my Pinterest for whatever reason, and I'm like, I should make an AMV for that. And then I instantly went, I should not make an AMV for that. And then I was texting my friend at the time. He's like, do it. Fucking do it. Well, not fucking do it, but that's me. Self-insert there. He's like, no, just do it. It'll hurt, but do it. And I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. And I did. And of course, I sent it to him and Megan, him being Patrick, because they're kind of my two biggest supporters here. And I sent it to Megan, and I made her cry watching it. I cried making it. And as I stated in the last video, it's definitely the saddest one I've ever made. And I'm gonna let you guys watch that one again because I mean like that. Fight me. So you guys can watch that, and the link to the playlist will be in the description.
Leaves from the vine, falling so slow, like fragile tiny shells, drifting in the foam. Little soldier boy, come marching home, and brave soldier boy comes marching home.
Alright, on to number 8. Number 8 is for the song King by Lauren Aquilina for Shiro. Now, I've been wanting to do this one for a long time. I had seen someone else use this song for Shiro, and I really, really liked it. But because that one was made, it took me a while to actually make it. Of course, it ended up getting blocked, so it ended up working out for me. But I used it when I made my Voltron character theme song. So for those of you who don't know, I think I mentioned this in one of my other videos. I've made some character theme songs for some of the characters. I've done the Voltron characters, I did the Bat Family, and I've done Marvel. All 3 phases of Marvel. I'm working on Arrowverse right now. That one had to put a halt to that one. But when I made the Voltron one, which was the first one I made it right after, I don't think it was the most recent season, but the season before that. Because I made this video I made it in June, so it must have been one of the most recent season. But I made that one I used that song for Shiro, and when I was making them, I was sending the clips to Megan at the time because we were like going back and forth. She was pretty excited about it, and so I sent her the clip, and she really, really, really liked it. And so when I finished that one, I made a couple of them. Actually, the other one that I made is also on her list. But I went back and I made an actual AMV for Shiro for that song. I was like, it's time. Let's do it. I'm sad to say it only has 5 likes, which is unfortunate because that one, it just fits so well for Shiro, especially because, he's this character who's gone through so much struggles in his life, and as we've learned in the most recent season, a lot more struggles than we knew of. And it's about him like coming through that, and moving forward and growing and moving on. And so I really, really liked that one for him, and I'm really glad I made that one, and I'm so glad that this one made it onto her list. I'm not surprised it did. Shiro is one of her favorite characters. I'm pretty sure Matt's her favorite character, but Shiro's also one of them. Oh man, I remember we've written some stories together for that one. Fun times there. Oh, some of it's regret, but most of it's enjoyment. But yeah, so that one's number 8. So I'll let you guys watch that video, and the link will be in the description below.
You're alone, you're on your own. So what? Have you gone blind? Have you forgotten what you have and what is yours? Glass half empty, glass half full. Well, either way, you won't be going thirsty. Count your blessings, not your flaws. You've got it all, you lost your mind in the sound. There's so much more, you can reclaim your crown. You're in control, rid of the monsters inside your head. Put all your faults to bed. You can be king again.
Alright, on to number 7. Number 7 is actually another one. This one's Something Wild by Lindsay Sterling, featuring Andrew McMahon. And this is another one that made it onto my Voltron character theme song video. This one was for Lance, and my cute baby, I love him. I adore this song for Lance. This is one of those ones where I hear that song and I instantly think of Lance. And so after making it, I knew I had to actually make the video. So I sat down and I made the video, and I fell in love with it. And I mean, Lance is one of my favorite characters. My 2 favorites are Shiro and Hunk. I adore those 2, but I have a personal connection to Shiro, I do to Shiro because my character is Shiro's sister, but also to Lance because of my character ends up with Lance, or my OC for Voltron ends up with Lance. So, because I'm a fan fiction writer and I am trash. I have no regrets. But I felt like that just showed his fun, energetic, optimistic, always being the light in the group, and no matter what, even though he's really sad on the inside, and you can tell, and I just want to hug him and tell him I love him. He deserves so much more love. But I'm actually really glad that this one made it onto her list, because this is one that made it into my honorable mentions. So I'm glad it made it onto hers, because I wanted to show this one off, but I did not get the chance to. So now you guys can watch it, because it's on her list. I'm happy. So yeah, you guys can watch that. And the link, I don't know why I point when I, to one of the sides when I say you guys can watch that. I guess, I don't know. But you guys can watch it, and the link will be in the description.
You had your maps drawn, you had other plans to hang your hopes on. Every road they led you down felt so wrong, so you found another way. You've got a big heart, the way you see the world, it got you this far. You might have just some bruises and a few scars, but you know you're gonna be okay. And even though you're scared, you're stronger than you know. If you're lost out where the lights are blinding, caught and all the stars are hiding, that's when something wild calls you home, home. If you face the fear that keeps you frozen, chase the sky into the ocean, that's when something wild calls you home, home.
Alright guys, on to number 6. This is another one that made it into my honorable mentions that I'm so fucking happy made it onto her list because this one is pure perfection. This one is for the song Worth It by Fifth Harmony for Dick Grayson because that song is just perfect. And I only used a portion of it. It's only like just shy of 40 seconds long and I used 96 pictures in this freaking video. For reference, most of my 3-minute videos use about 60 pictures. I used 96. I used almost 100 in 40 fucking seconds. Do you know how long it took me to find all of those pictures? Forever. For 40 seconds. Because it's just, I didn't follow, normally I'll follow like the words or whatnot, which is how it fits in, and then obviously when there's no words, I'll follow the music. But with that one, I just went bam, 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 bam. So it's just one after the other with no rhyme or rhythm. It's just, I pulled it all the way down so it was the fewest amount of seconds it could be and just went with it. And it ended up using 96 pictures in 40 fucking seconds. But I love it. It came out so good. And it's another one that made it onto my honorable mentions. And it's just that part of the song, because I used the chorus and then like leading up to the chorus, that part of the song just fits so well for Dick. So well. It's just got his name written all over it. And I was actually at work. This was back when I first started at my new job. Well, it's not really new anymore. I've been working there for 7 months now, but it was when I first started. And my assistant manager was still there. He has his own store now. I work at Dollar General. But he was playing like his pop station and Worth It came on and I'm like, this song kind of reminds me of Dick Grayson. And then I burst out laughing because it reminded me too much of Dick Grayson. I'm like, I gotta do this. And I went home and made that video. I have no regrets. It's perfect. And I'll let you guys watch it. And since it's so short, the clip that you guys will be watching will just be the full thing. And if you guys want to check it out or like it, it'll be in the link will be in the description below.
You see me in the spotlight, ooh, I love your style. Show me what you got, cause I don't wanna waste my time. See me in the spotlight, ooh, I love your style. Show me what you got now, come and make it worth my while. Give it to me, I'm worth it. Baby, I'm worth it. I'm worth it. Give me, I'm worth it. Give it to me, I'm worth it. Baby, I'm worth it. I'm worth it. Give me, I'm worth it.
Alright guys, we are on to number 5, and before we get started on that, we're going to do the typical, if you've made it this far into the video so I know who actually watches this fucking video, please comment below. What are we going to comment this time? Your favorite fandom, your favorite show, whatever. Comment below your favorite show, and then we'll see if I can make more videos for that, so that I know what you guys like. FYI, Hetalia is not going to be done again, so don't bother. And if you do like Hetalia and you comment it, I still won't do it. But I'll at least know that you like Hetalia, and I can recommend you some of the various Hetalia AMVs I've made, because I've got a lot. But yeah, comment your favorite fandom. And without further ado, number 5. So number 5 is another one of hers that made it onto my honorable mentions, and I'm really glad that this one made it onto hers because it ties it up the little triangle of videos I have made for this fandom. I've only made 3. But this one is for Sweet Dreams Are Made of This by Emily Browning for Gotham. And again, this is another one that kind of has the creepy undertones of Gotham, which I really like. All three of my videos have focused in on the creepy undertones of Gotham. And this one especially had it. That's why I chose this version of the song, was because of that creepy, dark undertone that it had. And I had a lot of fun with this one. This was another one that was published, I think, like either the same day or like right after my Paint It Black one, because I did those one after the other. But I'm glad it's on her list. It actually just went up a like earlier, because I got my list here that I'm looking at, and it's got written down, it's got like when it was published and how many likes it had, and I was going through downloading the videos so that I could put all this together. And earlier today, when I wrote up my list, it had 6 likes, but when I was going through, it had 7 likes. So it's gone up 1. Yay! More representation for Gotham, guys. But yeah, so that one was a lot of fun. I didn't quite like it as much as my other two. I felt like some of the clips just weren't right, but I'm glad it made it onto hers. And as high up as it did, it made it up as number 5. So I'll let you guys watch that, and there'll be a link in the description.
Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? Travel the world and the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to get used by you. Some of them want to abuse you. Some of them want to be abused.
Alright guys, we are on to number 4. This one is for the song Be Somebody by Thousand Foot Crutch, and it's for Jean Kirstein from Attack on Titan. This is another one that I'm not surprised made her list, because Jean is one of her favorite characters. She's got a couple. I mean, her favorites are Reiner, Bertolt, and Annie, but Jean is also one of them. And so, but she's also the reason I made this video, because originally I made this video for Lance a while back, and that one's only got 2 likes. So if you want a more Lance representation, go like that video. But we're here to talk about Jean. So I had the song, and at the time that I uploaded this, yeah, it was February 26th. So at the time that I uploaded this, it was while my phone had crashed during Comic-Con, because God forbid I have a phone during a time I actually need a fucking phone. Don't get the Samsung S8 active. It's regrets. I love Samsung. I've never had a problem with Samsung. But this phone, I swear to God. But it had my list of all of my AMVs that I planned on making. Of course, I found out I got lucky later, and I was smart and had a list on YouTube too. But now it's all written down on paper, so I won't lose it. So when I was going through and I came across that song, I remembered after I uploaded Lance that Megan was like, I really like it for Lance, but this song has always reminded me of Jean. So I was going through and I came across that song, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make that video for Jean. So I did. So Megan, I'm glad you liked this one, because I made it for you. Little did you know. But yeah, so that one, and I wanted to make it to accentuate on like how far he's come, because when you start the anime or the manga, Jean is very self-centered. He's doing this for the betterment of himself. He doesn't want to fight Titans. He wants to get into the military police so that he can be as far away from them and as safe as possible. And after Marco died, he really changed, and he didn't want anyone else to die. And I've read some of the manga, but I'm not nearly as caught up as she is. I think she's all the way caught up. But from what she's told me, because she's told me a lot about it, Jean's really, really come a long way. And if I remember correctly, she actually told me that he reminds her of Marco at this point, which I'm super happy about. And honestly, since really getting into the fandom, and especially this past 2 seasons, season 2 and season 3, or the half of season 3 we have, I've really come to appreciate Jean's character a lot more, and I've really enjoyed the growth that Jean has had, and he's definitely one of my favorites at this point. Like, top 5. Marco and Hanji are my 2 favorites. Hanji being number 1, actually. Marco was number 2. And then Connie's probably number 3. But Jean has come so far, and I really wanted this video to show just how far he's come, and that just how much of an effect Marco's had on him. So I'll let you guys watch that, and the link will be in the description below.
I'm just the boy inside the man, not exactly who you think I am. Trying to trace my steps back here again. So many times I'm just a speck inside your hand. You came and made me who I am. I remember where it all began so clearly. I feel a million miles away. Still you connect me in your way, and you created me something I would have never seen. When I could only see the floor, you made my window a door. So when they say they don't believe, I hope that they see you and me. After all the lights go down, I'm just the words, you are the sound. A strange type of chemistry, you've become a part of me. And when I sit alone at night, your thoughts burn through me like a fire. You're the only one who knows who I really am. We all wanna be somebody. We just need a taste of who we are. We all wanna be somebody. We're willing to go, but not that far.
Alright, who is ready for number 3? Number 3 is for Afterlife by XYLO for Jason Todd. Now this one was my first video that I had made for Jason. This was during the time where I wanted to upload one video for each of the boys. The first one was Dick, obviously, because that's my favorite. Then it was Tim, because I really liked the song I picked, and that one got blocked the minute I put it up. I was so mad about that. The third one was for Damien, and then finally I did Jason before going on to the Bat Family. And I really, really liked this song for Jason, because I felt like it captured the whole, he wants to be loved, but like at the same time he doesn't. And he doesn't feel like he's part of the family, despite him actually being part of the family. Because he has his own code, he does his own thing. And I feel like that really comes into play, that he doesn't quite feels like he fits in. And I love Jason. Jason is, I mean, obviously Dick Grayson's my favorite. I love all the characters. Dick is the love of my life. Damien is my son, and I love him. Tim is fucking brilliant, and I just want to hug Jason. He'd probably punch me in the face, but I want to hug him. I will hug him anyways. But I really feel like it helps to capture that whole bad boy love me thing Jason's got going on, but he doesn't feel like he deserves it. I love you, Jason. You deserve so much love. Anyways, I'll let you guys watch that video, and there'll be a link in the comments below. This is another one I wasn't surprised made her list, because Jason's her favorite character.
fucking miracle. Oh, red wine, tea stain. It's been a long day. I just want your love, not your money. Leave me here, I'll be fine. I'll wait for the stars to align. Cause, oh, how the other half live with their perfect skin. And oh, how I'll never be just like them. So I'm waiting for the afterlife to show me a good time, baby. Somebody save me. I just wanna be loved. I'm waiting for the afterlife to show me a good time, baby. Somebody save me. I just wanna be loved.
Alright, so we are on to number 2. Now, you guys are going to recognize the song, but I'm going to tell you right now it's not for the same fandom. This song is Welcome to the Show by Britt Nicole, but this time it's for the Bat Family. This one was another one that was super high, but just missed the top 10. I think this one was number 11, actually, so it, just missed the top 10. And I'm actually surprised this one made her list. Not because of, I know she really likes the Bat Family. She was the one that got me into the Bat Family to begin with. But I just didn't expect it. And it's not one of my personal favorites. I like it. I think it fits well for the Bat Family. But it just wasn't one that I put so much time and effort into. I just kind of threw together the pictures because I'm like, I like this for Bat Family. Let's get it out there. And clearly she's not the only one that liked it. It's got 310 likes. It actually just went down a tier. But this one's her number 2, so clearly she really liked it. And that makes me happy. So I'm glad you enjoyed that one, Megan. But yeah, so that one is for the Bat Family. I don't really have much to say for that one. That was just kind of one that I was going through old videos and I'm like, hey, this song kind of reminds me of Bat Family, so I'm going to do it. And I did it. So I really don't have much to say for that one. So I'll just let you guys watch that one. And the link will be in the description below. Alright guys, we are on to Megan's number 1 favorite AMV I've done. Now this one, I don't want to say it surprised me, but at the same time it did and it didn't. It didn't surprise me for the fandom, but it did surprise me that it was this one in particular. So her number 1 choice was for This Is War by 30 Seconds to Mars for Attack on Titan. Now like I said, I'm not surprised that it was Attack on Titan, but I was a little surprised that it was this one in particular. Mostly because, as great as the video is, I actually fucked up this one. I didn't consider going into making it that whole beginning build-up part was 30 seconds long. So I had one picture for 30 seconds, which is boring. No one wants to sit there and watch a picture slowly move up the screen for 30 seconds. But if you make it through that, first of all, God bless you for making through that. It's actually really good. And I put a lot of time and care into that one, going through picking each of the, fitting each of the characters with each of the different things. It goes in, it's to the people, the good and the evil, this is war, to the evil, or to the soldier, the civilian, the martyr, the victim, all that. I put a lot of time and care into picking who I wanted for each role. And I remember after I sent that one to her, because that was one of the ones I sent to her, we sat down and we talked about it actually. Or not sat down because I live in Kansas and she doesn't. She lives back home. So we were texting and talking about it. But she was just asking me like, what were you thinking when you put these people? So I guess I should probably explain it to you since I will be showing you the video in a hot minute. For each of the roles that I filled, this is what I've got. I made sure to write it all down so I could remember because there's a lot. So for the good, I chose Aaron. Obviously, he's the main character, and throughout the whole series, well, at least as far as I've gone, his main goal has been trying to stop the Titans and save humanity, to get back home and to get to his basement, and he's just an overall good person who's trying to help humanity. So that was why I chose Aaron for good. The evil, I chose Bertolt. Now, I will hope that you guys are all caught up in this, but I chose Bertolt for evil because he was kind of the one in charge of the Titan trio, and that kept pushing them forward. I mean, like, Annie really, she was there, and she knew what she had to do, but she really didn't want to do it, and Reiner was having so much difficulty with it that he developed multiple personality disorder. So clearly Bertolt was the only one in his right mind, and that was in charge of it. So that was why I chose Bertolt for evil. He's a good character, not a good person. I really liked Bertolt's character, and I like what they've done with him so far, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. I know what happens to him because I read the manga, but I won't tell you because I don't know who's actually read the manga. For the soldier, I chose Levi, which is kind of an obvious choice because he is humanity's strongest and best soldier. When everyone thinks of the Survey Corps, their first thought is Levi, because he's the best at what he does. So he was a clear choice for soldier. The civilian, I chose Krista, or Historia, as she's known now, and because she's not really a soldier like everyone else. She went there because she didn't have a choice. And it ended up, I mean, obviously she ended up doing really, really well there. And she's such a badass character, and I love her to death. She's so good. But she's not a soldier. No, she's a queen now, actually. But yeah, so I thought she fit better than the other ones for civilian. For the martyr, that's another obvious choice. It was Marco. And we all know what happens to Marco. And a martyr is someone who dies for a cause. And so, obviously, Marco, he is one of the first characters that really hits you that dies. I mean, obviously the mom dies, but that's like first 5 minutes of the show. You move on and you're done. But Marco was the first one that really hit home with the show, because he's such a good person, and he really didn't deserve that at all. I'm still mad about that. I mean, he was one of my favorite characters. But yeah, so that was an obvious choice for Martyr. For the victim, I chose Annie. And I chose Annie because of the fact that, like, she did struggle a lot with what she had to do. I mean, you could see there was a couple times where, like, she cried. Or, like, when she realized it was Armin, she let him go. Like, she didn't want to hurt her friends, but she knew she had to. And then obviously she ends up getting trapped in the crystal. So that's pretty victim. So that was why I picked Annie for victim. The prophet, I chose Hanji, since she's the group Titan expert. She's the scientist. She's also second in command. So she's kind of, relaying orders. And prophet's kind of someone that spreads the word. So I felt it fit well for Hanji. The liar, I chose Ymir. And that's another kind of obvious one because she just pretty much lied about her entire past until it was too late and she had to reveal herself. Which was, I didn't I'm gonna be honest, I did not expect that until it happened, and I'm like, holy shit, that's actually really cool. Um, and like she just fit for liar. For the honest, I chose Mikasa because, quite frankly, has she ever lied? I don't even think she has the ability to lie. She's always just blunt and truthful and just straight to the point. Blunt as fuck, honestly. Especially with Eren. Poor guy. For the leader, that was an obvious one. I chose Erwin because he's the leader of the Survey Corps and he does a phenomenal job with it. People follow without question when it comes to Erwin. They just trust him. And they trust that he knows what he's doing. And yeah, I know what happens to him. For the pariah, I chose Jean, sorry. Mostly because a pariah is someone that's like outcast. And especially in the beginning, Jean wasn't well liked. He and Eren got in a lot of fights. They were always disagreeing, and he was the outcast. And if I remember correctly, in the OVA, when you meet his mom, even as a child, he was never liked because he was just abrasive as fuck, especially as he got older. And so yeah, that was why I chose Jean for Pariah. Victor, I chose Reiner because he's kind of the only, spoilers right now, he's the only surviving member of the Titan trio. So, I mean, if you're the only one left alive, that obviously means you're the victor in your own fucked up way. And then finally, the Messiah, I chose Armin because the Messiah is the one that's kind of meant to lead you into a new world. And I felt like Armin's always been, he's the brains. He's fucking brilliant. And so many of the plans have been him. The saving trust, this, that, and the other. Like, he's been the one that's given the ideas and have led them to victory from the sidelines. So anyways, that was number 1. And that was the list of all the roles that I had to fill. And I put so much time and effort into those, you have no idea. I adored that one. And I will let you guys watch that. I will cut out the first 30 seconds so you don't have to sit through the boringness. You're welcome. There's no point sitting through 30 seconds of one picture. You feel? You feel? I feel. We feel. So I'll let you guys watch that. And the link will be in the description below, so definitely feel free to check that one out. Guys, thank you so much for watching. That was my friend Megan's top 10 AMVs of mine that are her favorites. I'm thinking for the next video I might go through and do like my top 10 saddest AMVs I've made. That one may be a while because I have to go through and really look. I know like what number 1 and number 2 will be, but I'm not really sure for the rest of them. It's been a while, and plus a lot of the ones that like I've made that have affected other people didn't affect me. So I really got to go through and look through the comments and figure out which ones have had the biggest impact on people. So it might be a hot minute before I get another video up. I'm also planning at some point, I've got to wait for him to get his list to me, but I'm going to do top 10 of Patrick's favorites as well. And then obviously with you guys comment all of your favorites, and I will get that one up for you guys too at the end of the month to give you guys as much time as possible because it's the 11th right now as I'm filming this. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!